come handy. And one of the most important benefits are related to health insurance benefits. So as an employee, whether we are new or old to the company, we are not so aware about the medical benefits, the policy, and how it actually works. So let's make this opportunity to get to know the features of health insurance, the policy, and how it actually works, and what are all covered in this health insurance. So we would be getting all inputs related to the policy from Care Health Insurance Company. Care Health Insurance, this is a part of Religare Group and a direct subsidiary of Religare Enterprise Limited. So we would have all the queries related to health insurance resolved by one of our Care Health Insurance expert. So please keep your questions coming. I would request Mr. Tanigai, HR, to welcome our Care Health Insurance expert, Mr. Sudeep Biswas. Over to you, Tanigai.
Thank you, Padmanabha. It was great, and as you said, and yes, I would like to welcome Sudipta, who is our vendor for our medical insurance, which we have taken it from Religare. So I welcome Sudipta for the session with our Desi Group employees. So over to you, Sudipta.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Tanigai, sir. Thank you, Padmanabha, sir. Good evening, everyone. Hope all of you are staying safe, staying well, taking care of your health and everything, apart from the work, of course. So I'll use English as the primary language because that's where I'm comfortable. So I'll run through the presentation of health insurance benefits that we have got for all the employees at Desi Group. And we'll also run through a presentation whereby all the employees can understand how they can use the Care Health app to avail all services. So we'll come to that after I finish with this benefits section. So now, under our health insurance policy, we have 2 units of Desi Group. One is from Tamil Nadu region and the other is Karnataka region. While both the policies are same, so it's important or it's appropriate that I use only same presentations for all the groups of all the employees. Now, under this policy, I think you must be aware what is this sum insured called. Sum insured means is the amount of rupees or money or coverage that you are insured against. Meaning, if anything happens to you whereby you require hospitalization, you can claim up to that much expenses. So here the limit is 1 lakh rupees for the employee. And this is an employee only policy. We are covering right now only the employees. So no family members are included as of now under the self-funding policy. While we have another policy for the leadership team, which will come to later on. So here only the employees are covered. And the another important parameter or the piece here for any health insurance policies is the room rent benefits. That means when you get anybody gets hospitalized, he or she occupies a room category, particular room in a hospital, which has different categories like general ward, twin sharing, single occupancy, and something like that. So what we have done, we have come up with a specific limit under this policy, which would mean that you can go to any hospital whereby you are eligible for a room rent of 2,500 rupees for normal room, and for ICU, which is intensive care unit for emergency or critical cases, you can avail a room category which is up to 5,000 rupees. But here the critical thing to understand is that you should all try and stay within this limit, because if you go to a higher room category whereby the room rent charges are more than 2,500 rupees or 5,000 rupees, you will not only be deducted the differential amount, but also the corresponding differences in the, say, surgery cost or doctor fees and everything else will also be proportionately paid to you. So the final amount that you will be paying from your pocket is not only the difference between this room rent eligibility and the room that you've occupied, but it will be much more than that. Hence, it's advisable that you should be trying to be within this limit so that you are not paying out of your pocket in all such cases. But yes, in cases of emergencies, if something is not available, but there is no other option but to do it. So in that case, some amount will be paid or borne by employees. That's room rent. So you should be very careful about room rent benefits. Now, this policy also comes with a pre- and post-hospitalization expenses coverage, which means So suddenly, not that everybody gets hospitalized. Before that, also you see a doctor, you do some tests and stuff like this, and eventually doctor says, okay, you need hospitalization, so get hospitalized. Now, those expenses, if the hospitalization happens, this before hospitalization, whatever expenses that you incurred for doing tests or consultations or medicines, all of this will be paid before 30 days of the hospitalization. And similarly, after you are discharged from the hospital, for 60 days period, you may have to undergo some treatment, some tests, going back to the doctors to see him or her for consultants and stuff like this. All of these expenses post-discharge for 60 days will be paid for. So, and there is no limit. It can be up to the sum insured. For example, if your hospitalization expenses is say 80,000 rupees, and you can claim for pre and post hospitalization expenses for another 20,000 rupees if there is a bill, a sufficient amount of bill, and everything is there for you. Just a minute. I'm just getting stuck. Yeah. Am I visible now?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. Now, this policy also covers the emergency ambulance, meaning in case of any emergency, remember this emergency is very important. In case of any emergency, whereby somebody has to be transported to the hospital using an ambulance, that also gets covered under the policy, whereby the limit is 1,000 rupees per event. Any number of cases happens in the policy period, 12 months period. Each time you can claim up to 1,000 rupees towards emergency ambulance services. Now, this time, our policy also covers maternity expenses, child delivery expenses for those employees who are married and female, of course. The limits are 35,000 rupees for normal delivery, and for C-section is 50,000 rupees. So in either of the cases, you can claim up to these limits. And the other piece is that newborn baby, while this could have been covered, but because it's a self-only policy, so this will not be applicable for the newborn baby cover. Now, another piece that you get to see typically in insurance policies is the co-payment. Co-payment is something that we typically have in policies whereby a portion of the claim amount is borne by the insured member or the employee here. But in our case, there is no such things in the policy, meaning whatever is payable amount under the policy, all of those get paid by the insurance company up to the limit of 1 lakh rupees. The other point that you must have heard possibly is the waiting periods, meaning a policy sometimes, starts from a particular day, but all the coverage don't start from day one. For example, pre-existing disease, which means somebody is having some ailments beforehand, that is typically not covered for say first year or a 9 months or 6 months period of time. So there is no such clause. So our policy covers you all things from day one. Even if somebody is carrying some disease, having some issues, ailments, from the day one, including the maternity is also covered from day one. You can get this claim done on the day one of the policy period, or whenever it is during the policy period. So there is no other waiting periods like first and second year exclusion. So you don't have to worry about that. And there is no such initial waiting period, which is typically there in the individual policy and some of the corporate policies. That is also wrapped up, which means that our policy covers everything from day one, so that you don't have to worry about what is covered and what is not covered, when it is covered or something like that. From day one, you can start getting these claims for you in case it is required. Now, another important element is the daycare treatment. So this policy, as I said, is for hospitalization. Not only hospitalization, but 24 hours hospitalization. Any hospitalization which is less than 24 hours are not covered. But there is a different category of such treatment which takes less than 24 hours, which are categorized as daycare treatment. So, for example, cataract, or say hernia operation, or say dialysis, or say chemotherapy and stuff like this. All of these don't take more than 24 hours. All of these are done within the 24 hours time. So all such treatments are also covered under the policy, and there is no sublimit. It is covered up to the sum insured. LASIK surgery, so it is something that somebody can avail only and only if somebody's eye power is more than plus minus 7.5. If somebody has eye power which is say 7.6 plus 7.6, or somebody's minus 7.6 or 8 or something like that, in those cases you can go for LASIK surgery. The reason that we cite for such things, because we do not encourage people to go for LASIK surgery if somebody does not have very high power, which becomes unbearable. Typically, in the lower category of eye power, it is not advisable, and hence the insurance companies keep this limit. But for cataract surgery, there is no such things. It can be applicable for all cataract cases. Now, another thing that I think more than 95% of our corporate in our country does not cover is this benefit, which is OPD, which is called outpatient benefit. But you should be feeling lucky, you should be feeling happy that your employer, Desicrew, has opted to give you this OPD benefit of 1,000 rupees per employee, which covers the following as mentioned here. It covers consultation, doctor consultation. It covers also pharmacy expenses. For example, a doctor prescribes some medicine, you can claim pharmacy also, which is 25% limit, so up to 250 rupees you can claim for medicines. And you also can go and get some tests done when a doctor prescribes you. Those tests and expenses, and the last but not least is a vaccination, which is like so very common today and important today. So you can get all of these under this OPD benefit claimed. But you should remember, all this put together, the limit is 1,000 rupees. Meaning, so all of us possibly are aware that throughout the year, something or other happens to us. I think 1,000 rupees is something that I think all of you will end up spending for something or other. So you should be very sure that you have a case like this. You should get the bills, documents, and everything, and claim for this benefit, because something given to you by the company, looking at those aspects only. So all of us go through something or other during the year. So you should be able to take advantage and benefit of this benefit under the policy. Now, another interesting feature is that you must have thought, when I talked about sum insured of 1 lakh rupees, it must have crossed your mind that this 1 lakh rupees is too less. Yes, I agree to an extent, but it's quite good enough in possibly most of the cases, if not some emergency, some critical cases. But the company's still taking care of that concern. This benefit offers the employee who needs it when they crosses or exhausts the 1 lakh rupees sum insured, then that employee can claim another 1 lakh rupee for that particular ailment. For example, somebody has a little critical hospitalization whereby his total expenses is 2 lakhs rupees. So of course the policy will pay you 1 lakh rupees. But in that case, you can come back to Tanika sir or Veena ma'am requesting, saying, this is what has happened. So I need to avail this corporate floater benefit. So Tanika sir or Veena ma'am will possibly approve, and then we'll release another, whatever is the amount required, up to 1 lakh rupees for that particular episode of hospitalization. So, but please be careful that sometimes, suppose it gets exhausted. Suppose 5 people have opted for it, each 1 lakh rupees, so it will get exhausted. So I think it will be something that Tanika sir and Veena ma'am will be in the right place to adjudicate how and where to use this benefit. But yes, in case someone really needs it, you can always request the Tanika sir, and this will be offered to the employee. Just a minute, I'm just getting on the locked. Just a minute, sir. Yeah. So, yeah. So I think that is the benefits under the policy that we have in the current year. So, should we take the questions now on the benefits, or after we finish the processes for the employees to understand and then take the questions? Okay. Sure. Sure. Let me open the other PPT of the process one. Yeah. Is this visible, ma'am? Can you see that? Okay. So one good thing that we have got with Care Health Insurance is that all of you have the ready access on your mobile for most of the things that you are supposed to do or you can do. So there is a mobile app called Care Health mobile app. So all of you should download that app. You can go to Google Play Store or iOS, Apple Store, wherever it is. You can download this app, and it's very easy to use and access many things. So here's the process where and how we can download this app and what to be done to log it inside that app and take advantage, use it, and do whatever you want to do. So you will have the policy number at your disposal. If you don't have it, you can ask us, you ask Tarinke sir or anybody else who is there, who is the coordinator, and enter that, and then you will be guided to follow step by step. It's a very simple thing, and you'll be ready to use this app. Okay. Now, what you get inside the app are these following things. So you can check your policy details. You can download your health card, and then many other things. In the sense, they can offer you some say consultancy booking with doctors, or you can book an appointment for a test or something like that. So all of these are available on this app. So I would advise all of you to go and download this app at your spare time and have a look at it. And I'm sure that you will like it, and you should keep it handy because you may need it anytime that you think it can happen to anybody. So you should be having this app at your disposal. Now, so it offers you, so particularly what happens, you can of course download the policy health card and everything, but the critical thing is that when you have a claim, you submit a claim, say OPD claims. I'm sure that a lot of people will be submitting the claims. You got to use this app to submit the claims. It will be very easy. Have the documents handy or whatever it is, and then click the photographs, or you have the bills and all those documents. I'll come to that later on. And then the app will guide you step by step what all you need to do. And then this will automatically generate a unique number through which you can track this claim, what is happening with the claims, and what is the status. They can find out if there's any pendency, there'll be notification. You'll be able to know what is there for you to do, and then take it forward. So you'll be able to control most of things at your end using this app. So there's some diagrams and details here which helps you how you can track that claim. So if you are using the app, it will automatically allow you to click on those track your claims in case of any intimation that you want to give it to Care Health for a claim that you're going to have. Intimate them beforehand. It helps always. And if you want to know the claim process, you can do that. And then you have the section for uploading the documents. All of these you can do it, right? So there'll be options for claims like reimbursement claim, what type of claim that will have inpatient, outpatient, or say pre and post hospitalization claims. All of those different sections will be there. So all of these other things like your state, your place, your hospital, all of these can be chosen by using this app. It becomes very, very easy for you to submit the claim. And for the insurance company also, it becomes easy for them to process the claims quickly and if there's any query, they can get back to you very quickly. So the whole purpose of having this claim at your disposal is to make it very easy, seamless, and for you to get intimated at each stage all time, so that you take actions. Now, again, it's the same thing here. You can upload the documents. You can all download e-cards. Any issues, any services related issues you'll have, you can intimate us through that, and it will be addressed within the TAT. And we'll come to know about all those things, so that we also can take actions on all of your queries and issues or claims or any other issues you may have. Now, this is one critical thing that I would request you to be a little more, attention on. So, when, of course, you'll be submitting a lot of reimbursement claims, because OPD will be done on a reimbursement basis only. So, you got to be careful while you submit the documents, because that will help you getting the claims processed within time, in a hassle-free manner, without much of queries and stuff like this. So these documents that I'm going to just share here, I'm sharing here, is for normal reimbursement claim, and hence requires a detailed list of documents. What are these? You'll have a claim form which is there, on the app you can download, or the website you can download. Also, the soft copies are shared, so you can take it from wherever it is you need. You can reach out to us. We can also help you with the claim forms and everything. So first and foremost, you got to have a filled claim form. So what we'll do is, so because of the time issues, I haven't gone into that presentation of how to fill up a claim form. But I'll share that also with Tanikesa, which you can possibly share among the employees. So you got to fill up the claim form adequately. And then you got to have the discharge summary of the hospitalization expenses. So before that, you should also have your cashless card copy, which you have got the soft copies, or you can download from the app. So typically, when you submit on the app, you'll ask me essentially why it is required. It's because those app is used for us to disseminate the documents to the insurance companies, and they get all the documents in one shot at their end, but they get all the documents to verify, so they will require that health card while submitting through app also. So please do submit that one also. And then you should also submit one ID proof. It can be anything like Aadhaar card, PAN card, voter ID card, passport, anything. And the other key thing that you got to submit is the employee cancel check or the bank document for them to process the payment. Please remember, these documents have to be like this, as I said. If it is a cancel check, at least that is a one preferred mode. So the cancel check should be having the name printed on it. Sometimes what happens, we apply for a check, bank account, the initial checkbook comes without the name. So that will not be accepted. So be careful that whenever you're submitting the cancel check, that check should have your name printed in it. Right? If you don't have that, for example, and you want to submit this immediately, in that case, you can use your statement, account statement, which will have all details, account number, IFSC code, everything will be there. So that will also be accepted. But please ensure that you do not share a cancel check without your printed name in it. That in that case, they will reject it. They'll say, okay, submit your bank documents. There'll be a query. So you'll get stuck in the process. So to save time, please ensure that you submit the right document for banking or making the payment. The next document is the discharge summary. So whenever a person gets discharged from the hospital, the mandatory document the hospital gives you a discharge summary, which has the admission date, discharge date, kind of treatment, kind of diagnosis that you had got. All of these are mentioned there. So that's very, very important documents. You should always have that. That is required for all main reimbursement cases. And then hospital final bill. They get you a final bill which will also have the itemized bills in it. It's not that you say a lump sum 1 lakh rupees. That will not be enough. The insurance company will require the detailed breakup of that final bill. Typically, all hospitals do provide this. Sometimes you miss out, that's okay, but normally there is no issues, but you get it. But you should be very careful that you have that in case you want to submit a claim like this. And then all test reports also need to be there with you. For example, if anybody goes to the hospital, there can be multiple tests done. You may think that is not required. What is important is the main surgery, main treatment, stuff like this. But no, the insurance company do require all those tests report for them to ascertain, yes, it was a case like this. So I'll tell you why. You may ask me, saying, why is this important? Are you doubting me? It's not. Actually, what happens is an agreement between insurance company and then insured and hospital. So in many cases, what happens, hospitals do overcharge or do a lot of things which is not desirable. But to ensure that the hospital do not charge you more, or they charge you the right amount of money, or they do not take advantage of keeping you in the hospital for a longer period of time. So the insurance companies, they have some protocol. So the hospital have to agree and do exactly like that. So all of these documents are required to ascertain that the hospital is doing the right thing. So that's why you should be submitting these reports also in all hospitalization cases. The other point is the payment receipt. So payment you can make by cash, you can make by credit card, you can debit card. But in all modes of payments, you got to have the receipt. Suppose you pay by cash, you got to have a receipt for that. Yes, I have paid so and so amount by cash. And in case of debit and credit card, you'll get a payment receipt, of course. But at the same time, you also get that debit card or credit card payment slip also along with you. Okay. So hospitals say, okay, we have received X amount of money. That is to be given, of course. At the same time, that payment slip comes out when you make the payment through debit card or credit card also need to be attached along with that. Okay. And then all prescriptions that you will have during the hospitalizations or before the hospitalization when the doctor prescribes you for a admission. So those prescriptions also will be required, because you cannot just simply go to the hospital and get admitted, right? A treating doctor has to advise you, saying, okay, you need hospitalization. So those prescriptions are required. And then investigation reports, and we have talked about all the test reports that talk to the same thing. And then there can be a peculiar scenario or cases where somebody meets with an accident and has a major hospitalization requirement. Suppose somebody breaks his bone or gets fractured very badly, somebody will require treatment. It may be surgery or something like that. In that case, you'll have to necessarily ensure that there is an FIR or there is a MLC certificate, which is called medical legal certificate. So in such case, what happens? Suppose somebody meets with an accident. This is required because to ensure that somebody is not under influence of drugs, or somebody is not intoxicated, somebody is not under the influence of alcohol or something like that. Because in all such cases, if somebody is found to be consumed alcohol and meets with an accident, then those claims are not payable. And hence, these documents would be absolutely necessary in a accidental claim cases, right? So that's how it is. So documents, and then the things that you can do. You can find out the hospital. If you want to find out any hospital in and around the area, you can just go to the app, go to this hospital locator section, network locator section, and you can find out a particular hospital is there or not. Basis that you can make a decision. Do you want to go to that hospital or some other hospital? You can find out, make a decision accordingly. Right, so that's how it is. The claims process and documents. I hope I could make it clear to all of you. But nevertheless, if there are queries about the benefits and the claims processes, we can check them right now. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, Sudipta, so the claim can be made through this app also because I have tried one. So the claim can be made through
Yeah,
app.
claim can be submitted and should be submitted through the app only.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Okay.
So
So,
what normally the issues come is that in terms of the document uploading. So please try and create those PDF files of those images that you have. So while scanning it, so you do scan. Don't take the image. Don't take the photograph. Okay.
okay.
Because that will that reduce the file size, because over and above certain limits you're not going to submit those documents. So please try and create those PDF documents and submit, and it becomes very easy. And this also guides you step by step what documents what things to be done.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. And my next question will be, so most of our centers are in rural areas, as you know, we have already told.
Right, right.
So if the hospital is not covered under the claim, again, what happens?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So if any hospital is not under the network, which you can check through the app only, in that case, an employee has to finish the treatment, make the payment, and then you submit the claims, as we talked about. That I detailed the claim process. So just simply follow that process of submitting all the documents, including your health card, claim form, discharge summary, investigation reports, final bills, and a cancel check, or a bank statement, or prescriptions. All of these please submit, and it will be settled within 21 working days. Okay? So yes, I understand that you have to pay. So yes, I understand that somebody has to pay from his pocket because that is not under the list of network that we can have in that unfortunate situation. But please be assured that once it is done, you will do all things to ensure that your claims are settled quickly and on time. I will guide you at all times.
Okay. So my question is another question. See, if I'm there in one place, okay. If I don't see an hospital, in my place, probably you see if I have a hospital like Karnataka which is covered, can I go to Karnataka and take the claim if the claim is available
Yes,
there?
yes. This is available across India, anywhere in India, any hospital in India. You can take treatment. Any legal registered hospital you are eligible to take treatment in. Yes.
Okay, that's good. And in case of, as you told, non-listed hospitals, you have to claim. So how long that claim, once we submit the forms, how long the claim, I mean, the money comes back to us?
Yeah, as I said, it takes 21 working days. Suppose there is no query, all documents are submitted absolutely cleanly with all things required. Your money will be in your account within 21 working days.
That's good. So, those are my basic questions, Sudipta. So I open up for the team now. Srilekha, can you ask the team to call up?
Yeah, hi, good evening. So I have a question here. So when we joined as an employee, so how will we get notified? Because since I joined 6 months ago, so this is the first time I am getting an opportunity that is a benefit from the organization. So if a new employee joins, how they'll be get notified? And see, since we are in this pandemic, it is too difficult to communicate to the new joiners. So if you are in a real situation, probably we can, like a PF form, we can sign those medical forms as well at the time of joining. But in this pandemic, how we are going to do that, how to fill the form and how to register ourselves in the portal, and how to get that information, whether we need to use only our official address for these claims or can we add our personal email address as well. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, I think this question for Sudipta or for
Yeah, it's for Sudipta. Hello? Sudipta sir, can you hear us? Hello?
Sudipta is there. He's there.
Yeah, he's
Sudipta.
there, but we are not sure whether he's able to hear us.
I think that will be some connectivity issue at his side, I think so.
Yeah, there's a problem.
I'll give a call, Tanikai, by the time. I'll just try to call him. You can-
Okay, so meanwhile I'll address whatever I know. So Karthik, good question. There are multiple questions in one safe question.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, the question she asked if anybody joins, that will be taken care of the HR department. You know,
Okay.
documents, all this. Okay.
Okay.
And we will be the person who will be, sending your details, for the renewal. Okay,
Hello?
so anybody who is joined will be, the HR department is responsible for
Can you rejoin, sir? Maybe
updating your names for the relevant things. Okay. We have to be done.
Yeah, hello? Sudipta sir?
Apart, there's another question where how do we know whether we can have our, house address or, permanent address and those things. Okay, so actually, we don't collect the address itself here, and it's not actually required. Okay, only your basic details, date of birth and your name, those things has to be correct. So that is the main thing. There's no requirement of address itself. Okay, so that, am I right, Sudipta?
Yeah, sir, I heard him, so let me respond to him. So, for us to ensure that you are part of this policy, what we need is a simple email from someone from Tanikai sir saying, please add these employees from so and so date. I need the employee's name, gender, date of birth, and date of joining. So that is all that I need for me to add that employee in the policy. But please ensure that you do not delay beyond a month or say 35 days. So suppose an employee joins today, you can intimate me after 30 days also, but your coverage will be starting from today. I can ensure that. But for that, we need the money in the seat. Of course, we'll talk that with Tanikai sir. So, what an employee or a possibly center head or a unit head from basically is to do is possibly send a list of the employees who are joining to Tanikai sir or whoever it is, and then that list comes to us, and then we get these employees added in the policy, which takes possibly 2, 3, 4 days, but then you are absolutely sure that yes, they will be covered under the policy. So it's a very simple process. You don't have to worry about all of these documents, how they can send all these documents. You don't need anything. We just need all those simple documents. The employee's name, his employee ID, his date of birth, his gender. That's it, And that is all that we'll be requiring to add that person and the employee in the policy. Does it help? Hello?
Yeah, Karthik. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for that. No. I am taking the session from my mobile, so it was a touch screen. I was unable to unmute myself. Sorry for that. So, after we successfully get registered, will we get a notification on our official email address saying that we have been enrolled ourselves?
So what happens? We'll share the details of the membership number and the cards and everything. We'll share with Tanikai sir, and then you will obviously get it from him, and then you can start accessing the app. That's it.
Okay, fine. So the last question is maybe it may be a kind of a hypothetical question, but not for my personal thing which I'm asking. See, while submitting a claim, so I am an employee, so I am in a notice period. Okay, so if I'm submitting a claim, you said that if all the documents are very clear, so it will take for you 21 working days to process a claim.
That's right.
Okay, so in the ideal scenario, maybe I may get a relief as quickly as possible. But while submitting the claim, I am an employee, but it will take a month's time, or maybe it depends on some sort of clarification is required from a company. You need to submit this document, and so after I exit from a company, so how that interaction will happen, whether I'll be getting that reimbursed, or is there any other special approvals or some kind of thing is required?
No, I think suppose your claim happened within the policy, within the employment period, you will get that claim. There is no two ways about it. Whether you resign or it doesn't matter. Suppose you're resigning today and your claim happens 20 days before or 10 days before, right? So in a scenario like this, there is nothing which is going to bother you in terms of whether this claim will get settled or not. It's just that a simple process. The documents you have sent, you will have your email IDs, which you can have anything there in the app. So you'll get the intimations on email also. So I think there'll be nothing which will stop you from this getting this claim settled, and you don't have issues in terms of the communication also. So I don't foresee any issues, any challenges in terms of a scenario like this. Yes.
Okay. So the reason being which I ask is, so once you left from the company, your email IDs will be get disabled within a 24 hours or 48 hours. So I may not get a chance to either track or to coordinate from my official email. So that is the reason why I asked the first question.
You'll have your phone numbers, you'll have email IDs, which you can share any email ID that you want to share.
Okay, fine.
It is not required that you have to use the official email ID. See, the communication will, of course, happen with HR. So the communication happen with two persons, one is the HR of the secure and the employee, and us in between, right? So there will be communications with all the stakeholders. So you'll not have any challenges there. And if in any case, even then, if issues persist, you can always talk to us. We'll be available, accessible. You can talk whether you are part of the company or not. Suppose your claim is valid and you are out of the organization, we'll still have our numbers and details. You can always interact with us. We will help you in all those things. That's what we do.
Okay. So that's all from my side. Thanks, Sudipta, for your prompt response, and thanks, Tani.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Of course you can. So just have the cashless card and maybe at the max ID proof, an Aadhaar card or anything, any ID proof you may have. That's it, and you are ready to go and use it.
Oh, thank you, Sudipta. No, nothing else. Yes.
There's no limit. You can claim only up to 1 lakh rupees, and you can have 10 claims also. It doesn't matter. It's 10 hospitalization claim, and for OPD also the same thing. But I think only thing that I would suggest, I'm not talking about the main hospitalization expenses, but for OPD, I think it's advisable that whenever you think that you have reached somewhere about 1,000 rupees, you please do submit the claim. Otherwise, for you, suppose you want to submit a 100 rupee, 200 rupees claim, it may be a little bit of hassle for you. I think you also don't want to do this. So whenever you think that you have a 1,000 rupees claim, around 1,000 rupees, you please do submit the claim and it will be submitted. But for main hospitalization claim, limit is 1 lakh rupees. So suppose you have dengue fever, you need hospitalization, you get hospital for a couple of days, spend 20,000-30,000 rupees. And then again, after 2 months, something happens, you need another hospitalization. So all of these are possible. There is no limits on number of hospitalizations during the year. It can be any number.
Yeah, thank you. Rupa, you have any other question related to it?
No, Srilekha, no.
Thank you, Rupa. Thank you. So there is another question. Prabhakaran from Kollu is asking, any deadline for the claim for submission, form submission?
Yeah, so typically most of the insurance companies, they do insist 30 days time. Suppose you get discharged today, you are ideally expected to submit the claims within 30 days time. We will also request you to do that same. But in case somebody misses it, nothing to worry. We'll still get that claim process. But please be mindful. You try and ensure that you submit the claims within 30 days time.
Okay. So, by moving to the next question, do we have any questions from Chennai team? So we'll move on to the next center. Do we have any question from Chennai center? Jaya, Gangashri, anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So now we'll move on to Kapu center. Do we have any question? Rajesh, Srinidhi, Trisha?
Hi, Sruti. I got a few questions. I got a few questions relating to the maternity. So my question is that, for example, there's been expenses incurred during pre-hospitalization, like scanning, medical checkup, and medical expenses, other expenses. Can these expenses be claimed, or is this any other procedure? Because,
Yeah, so those are called pre and postnatal expenses.
Right.
So right now, this year policy, we don't have pre and postnatal expenses because we have a little lower limit, 35 and 50K. So those pre and postnatal expenses are not covered under the policy as of now. Since the delivery costs, suppose somebody gets hospitalized for the delivery or normal delivery C-section, those amount will be paid, not those scans and everything which happens before the delivery.
And my another question is relating to the ambulance expenses.
Yes.
Okay. See, if any employee arrange for private ambulance, whereby the individual need to pay them the cash, how this will be claimed?
Anything, private or not.
The thing is that if that person or that person is not going to provide the bill for that payment.
So no bill, no payment, unfortunately.
No, the thing is, no. Okay, fine.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it's not about paying certain amount or not paying certain amount. Because there's a process, there's a protocol. Somebody's actually doing things on good faith and trust, right? So those are the documents that you got to submit necessarily for getting the claims settled.
Okay. And I got another query relating to the vaccination part. So, what is the procedure to claim the vaccination amount? Means like here normally the hospital will provide us a single bill for that.
That's it.
So we can upload that particular bill and we can claim that amount, right? That
bill itself will. So whatever documents you get, suppose you go to the hospital, they will. Suppose I go to get the vaccination done, they will ask me to pay money and they'll give you a bill, right? Which will specifically mention for vaccination, right? So for vaccination, that is enough.
Okay. Thank you.
Sudipta, we have one more question. So the question is like, how many days will it take for reimbursement?
So it will take 21 working days if all documents are submitted adequately. There is no pendency. So the day that you submit all documents, it will take 21 working days to get the claim settled.
Okay. So the second question, what they had mentioned is that policy applicable for only major health issues or for all?
So as I said, this policy has to for the main hospitalization claim and the OPD claim. So I'm not going to the OPD claim. I think we all understand what is OPD claim. But for the main claim, it's for hospitalization claim, not main or not main. There is no distinctions like that. So if anybody needs treatment, and remember this, somebody needing treatment, not for doing tests. Suppose sometimes what happens, somebody needs to get some tests done, so he'll talk to the doctor. Doctor will say, okay, you get admitted, we'll get the test done and give you. So those are also not payable. Remember this. In some cases it happens. So what I'm trying to tell you, anybody who needs treatment for which you need hospitalization, which is more than 24 hours, apart from the daycare treatment, all of those will be paid. So there is no distinction which is major or non-major. So major, I may say that somebody who's a major surgery or maybe somebody has a dengue fever, it can be a non-major. So both are covered.
Okay. So they had a question along with this as well. So like even do interns are also eligible for this?
Yes.
People who have joined very recently, maybe like 3-4 months back, they have joined. So
Tanika sir will tell you that.
yeah.
Intern-
So
No, that is covered.
Okay. So I think Rajeshwari, if you are there, all your 3 questions have been resolved. I mean answered.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Got it, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I have got one question.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah, Shudip, you're talking about like an OPD. So now that consultation charges, so that will be covered, or is it something like there's a limitation for that? $1,000.
No, there is no limit on consultancy. The only limit is on pharmacy expenses. So you can claim pharmacy expenses only up to 250 rupees. Rest all, suppose you go to a doctor who charges 1000 rupees, you can claim 1000 rupees to that consultancy fees only.
Okay, so we cannot claim the medicines in that.
No, suppose you exhaust the limit, then of course you can't claim. What I'm saying, only one consultancy bill of 1000 rupees is enough for you to make this claim. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there is no limit on consultation fees, like we have for pharmacy expenses, for medicine expenses.
And it's not like once it's only one time you can encash that amount. It's not like that, right? I mean, probably you can in a year, like you may have to visit 4 or 5 times for a different diseases.
Yeah, but the limit is 1000 rupees all and annually. So in 1 year you can claim 1000. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now one more question is like you go to the consultancy. I mean, they say that you have to do some CT scanning or some MRI or something like that. Will that be covered?
It is covered, but then suppose you have exhausted through the consultation fees, then nothing else can be taken in the OPD. So remember this: 1000 rupees is the list. Let me give you an example. Suppose you want to go to a doctor. He charges 500 rupees for consultancy, and then he asks you to do a blood test, CBC, which costs you 500 rupees, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that case, 500 plus 500 rupees, 1000 rupees you can claim. So that's fine. But let's take another scenario. You go to a doctor who charges 1500 rupees for a consultation. You can submit that bill and you'll be paid 1000 rupees because 1000 rupees is the limit and nothing else can be paid. Right?
Got it. Okay.
What I'm trying to tell you is that the OPD covers all of those things so people can avail in any scenarios. It's not that every time somebody will do all of those 3 things. That's why we wanted to ensure that it becomes something very good for all the employees, not only few percentage of the employees, right? Some people may need some tests to be done. Some people may want to consult a doctor. Some people want to use this limit for vaccination. So all of these can be different scenarios for different people, and hence it becomes useful for a large number of employees.
But it's like a limit is $1,000 for the entire year, right?
Entire year, yes, absolutely.
Okay. And scanning everything, like it has to come under the $1,000 only. So it is
Yes.
if it is creating the yeah. All right.
Yes.
Now it's like if I'm going to a hospital, just like registered. I mean, like you guys are tied up with that, so we can do like in a cashless also there.
Yes, so the main hospitalization claim is for it can be done cashless, reimbursement both. OPD will be necessarily reimbursement basis.
Okay.
So Care Health is still trying to do some OPD cashless also, but if it happens in between, so I think they'll be one of the first insurance companies to provide that. But as of now, you don't have cashless for OPD, but cashless for main hospitalization expenses.
And one last doubt. You said that bed charges is like in 2,500. If it is exceeding more than that, then we have to pay from our own pocket.
Yeah. So let me give you an example. Suppose you go to any XYZ hospital. They have 3 categories of rooms, say a general ward, a twin sharing, and single room, right? Now, let's assume that general ward costs you 2,500 rupees. It's just a hypothetical example. So general ward 2,500 rupees, twin sharing say cost 3,500 rupees, and single room costs you 5,000 rupees, right? So you should understand whenever a surgery is done in these 3 room categories, what comes to your mind? Do you think the surgery cost will be the same or different in these 3 categories? I'm just asking you a question. Let me.
Nobody surgery costs more than.
No. Let's again ask you a question. I'm saying you have three options to go to that hospital and get the surgery done. Same surgery. So let's say it's a gallbladder surgery. Okay. You have options to go to a general ward, or twin sharing, or a single room. Do you think that surgery cost, the entire cost of that surgery, doing the surgery, there's a cost of surgery in the hospitalization line. Okay? So do you think that surgery cost will be same in these three categories?
No, definitely it's not going to be the same.
Why not? Because it's the same doctor, same apparatus, same equipment. It should be ideally same, right?
Yeah. Surgery cost is.
But actually your answer is right, but just that is where the catch is, right? So what happens? Your gallbladder surgery is done. The same doctor does it, same equipment is used, but only difference is the room category, right?
Yeah.
So that's how hospital do their business. So that is what I'm saying. So if you go to a higher room category, say from general ward to twin sharing, in this case, in this example I said, you not only pay 1,000 rupees extra, but also the differential amount in that surgery cost or the doctor fees. The same doctor will charge you different fees in general ward and twin sharing and single occupancy. Okay, so you will be eligible to get that 2,500 rupees category and corresponding expenses. So that difference is not only 1,000. Suppose the hospitalization is for 1 day, so you will not be paying only 1,000 rupees extra. Maybe you will be paying 5, 6, 7,000 rupees extra, because there is a difference in the surgery cost and all other corresponding expenses. Okay, so that is what exactly I was referring to. That whenever you have a case like this, try to be within the limit, and that will save you money. Otherwise, you'll have to pay some more money from your pocket.
But again, one more question. I got it. Now I understood it. So now I'm saying, surgery cost will depend on the bed cost, is it?
Yes, absolutely. In most of the cases, that's the unfortunate situation. There's nothing that anybody can do. The hospitals, we have seen it from the close quarters. For example, my mother is going through a critical thing. So she needs hospitalization every 15-20 days time or something like that. So let's face it. So she has cancer. So we go for a daycare procedure. There also there's a difference. There's a recliner or there is a bed. So if I go to a recliner and the bed, the difference is not only in the room charges, but all other things get higher. So I said, I don't need it. My mother is there for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours time. She can manage to be in a recliner bed rather than flat bed. So why should I kind of pay a higher amount for possibly nothing? But that's how it is, unfortunately. So it should be. That's exactly why I thought it's something very important. So all of us should be knowing, so that tomorrow we don't get surprises, and it helps because many people don't know and they really get zapped. The question comes saying, why is that I'm being charged so much while the difference is only 1,000 rupees in room rent? But actually, it's not their fault because they're not told adequately. So,
true, got it. I mean that's a good answer. In fact, everybody should know that. Otherwise, they'll end up paying more money. In fact,
absolutely.
Great. Yeah, thanks a lot, Sudipta.
Yeah, Sudipta, we have 3 more questions.
Yes.
One person wants to get to know the list of hospitals that had been covered in Tamil Nadu. So that we will be getting to know, right?
We have 745 hospitals in Tamil Nadu. You can get that checked on the app itself, and in case you need to have access to that list, it's already shared with Tanikesa and some other people inside the organization. You can access that also.
Okay. The next question is, we do want to get to know what are the diseases that are not being covered, that are not being insured.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I should have had that list of exclusions under the policy, but let me attempt this. So all those cases like say HIV, AIDS, puberty-related, infertility-related, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, all such things. It's not that common thing. There's no such common things which is actually not payable, but elements or issues like those are actually not covered under the policy. So what I'll do is I'll share that list with Tanikesa because there's quite a bit of lists, about 20, 25, 30 odd. So voice-related issues also. So at puberty, suppose somebody becomes adult from a kid, from a teen to an adult, some kids develop the issues of their voice. So as you know, the voice becomes a little harsher, a little more louder. But in some, that's normal. But in some cases, it becomes really, really difficult. So those things are not payable. Hereditary related issues. Say, for example, you have a cleft lips. Somebody born with a cleft lip. You understand that? Which is external congenital conditions. So cases like those are not covered. But
so you mean to say, sorry to interrupt, so you mean to say like cosmetic related?
Yes, cosmetic surgery, yes. Cosmetic treatment is not covered. Yes, you're right.
Okay. Okay. We have one more question. Please hold on. So they just want to get to know, is it possible to get higher coverage by paying extra premium?
Yeah, it's something that it doesn't work just like this. Under this policy, there's no provision to extend this 1 lakh to 10 lakhs or any other amount by paying some extra premium. There is no options right now in this policy. In between, of course, it's not done. It's not possible anyways. So the answer is no. But what we'll do is, see, we have done a lot of changes in this policy this year. So maybe we'll attempt to do a few more things based on this feedback next policy renewal time to address some of these requirements that employee may have. Okay, but yes, the answer is no. As of now.
Okay, I think.
Yes, on the contrary, I would suggest that all people who think health insurance is important, they can always buy individual policies. You can reach out to us. We'll help you do that also. Remember this, that is policy that will stay with you for as long as you want. So then hence it's important for all the employees to think about to buy individual health insurance for themselves and their families. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Rupa, your question has been answered. So we'll move on to the next question. The next question says, like, can a male employee use a maternity policy for his wife? I mean, like, the benefits.
If you can get his wife become an employee in the company, yes. Otherwise, not.
Okay.
So I'm saying that was a kind of like a lighter vein. So what I'm saying is a self-only policy. All employees, female employees, they can avail maternity benefit, right? As of now, because this is self-only policy. But if tomorrow, suppose it becomes 1 + 3 employee, spouse, children, in that case, those become available. But yes, somebody who is very smart, he'll try and impress Tanikesa to give his wife a job, and then they can get the claim.
Okay, Sudipta. I'm just asking people. Team, do we have any questions? Do we have?
Yeah. Hi, Sudipta.
Yeah, Mohinder.
Yeah, hi, Sudipta. Good evening. So one quick question. So the total policy coverage you said is 1 lakh, right? So for the maternity, we can claim this max 50K. So is that 50K included in this 1 lakh, or is it separate? That 50K and the 1 lakh is separate?
It's within the maternity.
So the max is 1 lakh for that particular year.
Yes.
Okay. On the bills part, what are the terms and conditions for the bills? It should be signed by the hospital, or should we get a seal from the hospital? or can that bill be just have any signature? Are there any rules particularly to the bills, because we have to submit all the bills?
Yeah, so the bills are bills. There is no different rules around for different hospitals. A bill is necessarily signed, digitally or otherwise.
No, apart from the signature, do you need a seal? I'm asking. Because there are certain other insurance companies which demand a seal on the bill just to verify its authenticity. So I'm just asking whether is there anything specific in this policy?
Not necessarily. If the hospital gets a so typically they do give seal also. Suppose they issue a hard copy, they do give you a seal, on that bill or whatever it is. So I think this query becomes relevant when you go for a duplicate bill. Suppose you've lost the bills and then you come, saying you lost the bill, go to the hospital, they submit another bill. In that case, of course, the seals and everything is necessary. But for bills, it's a normal process. If a hospital, there's a way of giving out the bills, that's acceptable to insurance companies. But yes, if somebody does give the seal, they should give the seal.
Okay, and the second question, like you said, you have to take a photocopy of it in a PDF format and upload it in the portal, right? So it means that you don't need the original copies. All you need is just a PDF copy. That's it.
Yeah, but they may ask at some time, so you should have it with you. So yeah, the claim can be processed, will be processed basis the digital copies, soft copies. But in cases, they may ask you to send it to them by courier for whatever reason that is. But yes, as of now, we don't see them asking for hard copies for claims processing.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, that's it from my end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sudipta, we have one more question. So there are 1 crore medical policies available in the market, and how is your policy different from them?
Come again, please. I couldn't get you. Come again.
No, they just want to get to know what is the difference between Care Health insurance policy and other health insurance policies.
Okay. So of course, in terms of policy benefits is something that you can customize. That is that we have done this customization, right? The benefits that we have offered the employees is like we have chosen that we need all these benefits. Most of the insurance companies can give all these benefits. So we're not even talking about that anybody can do it. So what is important in terms of the services, in terms of the responses that we give to the employees, in terms of the technology. With the times that we are in, is so uncertain what can happen, what may not happen. And the employees can need any kind of services at any point of time. So I think that's where Care Health will stand out. If you go and Google it on say claim settlement ratio or something like that, you'll get to see yourself where the claim settlement ratio is. They're right on top among the best. And they're the fastest and the largest, one of the largest health insurance providers in the country. So on many counts, they score above many other competition companies right now. And the other point is that they are a lot more approachable, accessible, no technology. And so I think our job is to ensure that the employees will decide what happens going forward. If the services is good, the employees are the deciders. It's a democracy in a way. So I think the Care Health will attach a lot of importance to that. So that's why they'll possibly try and get the best of the services delivered to all the employees. And the data is there, the credentials are there. A lot of customers are there who are talking about the services of many companies. So yeah, on many counts, yes, they do score above others.
Sudipta, your mic is muted.
No, is it on?
No, sorry. Padmanabha was talking something. His mic is muted.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So Sudipta, we have one more question. So they just want to get to know, like, apart from cosmetic surgery, so what are the other major surgeries that will be covered? major or minor.
Not covered.
Yeah.
Cosmetic surgery is covered anyway.
Yes, yes. So apart from that, what other minor surgeries which are not covered?
So as I said, so suppose somebody is driving in a drunken state, met with an accident, and needs a hospitalization, that will not be covered, right? Or somebody has a infertility related issues, right?
Okay.
Those things will not be covered. So like this, which is very prominent, I think the moment you see that list, you'll understand, okay, fair point, there's justification. So there's quite a bit of lists, so I can't really recall all of them. What I'll do is I'll share that list of exclusions with Tanike sir, and then you can post it on the forums that you have got, and you'll get to know exactly what those are.
Okay.
But yes, the examples are just like that, as I could tell you a few examples, it's just like those examples.
Okay. So the next question is, sorry.
We can, yes. That's okay.
Fine. I'll just finish with 2 more questions, Sudipta.
Yeah.
One moment. So when we speak about the policy that covers even family as well, so they just want to get to know what are the benefits that can be claimed for family members.
Okay, so we have got a policy for the leadership team. Are you talking about that policy?
Yes.
Okay, so all benefits are same. It's just that in that policy, it covers employee, spouse, children, and parents.
Okay.
So rest all benefits are same.
Okay. So I think Mohinder, your question has been answered.
Yes. So the policy amount of 1 lakh is the max cap.
Yes. All things remain same as I said. It's just that's a family floater cover, wherein the family is defined as employee, spouse, children, and parents.
This is Shanmugam from Kollu. This is cataract surgery is applicable for the policy. So for family,
it is covered, and there is no limit, fortunately.
Yeah, is there any age limit?
No. So our policy had age limit of 80 years of age, but I think we have a couple of people who are above 80 years of age. We got them included. But yes, there's a limit of 80 years of age in the policy for parents.
So what is the amount, the coverage? 1 lakh, right?
1 lakh, yes, 1 lakh per family.
Okay, sir. Thanks. That is my question. Yeah.
Sudipta, we have one more question.
Yes.
So this question is a little bit tricky kind. I mean, like, what if the employee changes the job in between? So will that insurance get lapsed, or like how does that go about?
So actually, that's not tricky for us. The way that we treat is that Tanike sir or the person designated by basic rule, they will give us the people who need to be removed and who need to be added from the policy. Okay, so we follow that list and remove that person from there for resignation. That's the last step in the organization. Okay, that's one simple rule that we follow. But it was advisable that removed from the policy, because those employees are eligible for these benefits because they're part of basic rule, right? When they're out of it, they are not supposed to get that benefit. So in those exceptional cases, somebody might be asked for their proof of employment also in those rare cases. So if he cannot produce and if he cannot prove that yes, he is part of basic rule, he may be denied. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the benefits are available only and only when till the time he is employed with basic rule.
I think Shraddha, your question has been answered now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have any other questions, people? TN Palim team?
Yeah, Padmanabh, Arun here.
Hi, Arun.
Yeah, my question is, I want to know whether if any diagnostic center is empaneled with this insurance, apart from hospitals.
Arun wants to get to know, like, are there, Arun, can you please repeat that question?
Yes, I understood the question. So, if you go to the app, that also allows you to access diagnostic centers, across the country. So you can possibly go and book appointment through that app also. Yes, so they have a lot of diagnostic centers network with them, not for cashless, but as a network partner. Sometimes they offer some discounts because they're Care Health customer.
Okay, that means I do not have a direct benefit.
Meaning?
Like a hospital bill claiming, I do not have a direct benefit from you.
No, you cannot get the hospitalization in the diagnostic center, no sir. You can get hospitalized in a hospital or a nursing home, a proper hospital, not in a diagnostic center. Diagnostic center is.
Yeah, Sudip, I'll put my question a bit in a clear way. Like, see, if I go to a hospital, I get a consultation done. He tells me to go get a scan and come back. So now I have to do it outside. For example, I do it outside in a center, somewhere, diagnostic center outside. So how does my bill work?
No, that bill you can claim under OPD, which has 1,000 rupees limit. But in case you are advised hospitalization after that test and everything, doctor says, okay, this is a serious conditions, you need to be hospitalized. In that case, these bills also payable under pre-hospitalization expenses. Okay?
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. Thank you.
So we have a few questions from Villupuram team as well. Hi, Vijay.
Hi, Sudipta. Hi, team.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. Okay. So a couple of questions. I think since most of the questions has been raised and most of them are clear, a few questions from my end. For example, when I go for a hospital, I have to go for the admission. For example, today I'm going to get admitted in hospital. So how long it will take for me to get an approval from your end to that hospital? Whatever it is a cashless, it is under your hospitalization cashless, whatever the hospital has been listed. I go for one of the hospital, I can get it admitted. And how long your whoever is working under this network, so how long it takes to get it approved?
So it typically takes, it is done within 4 hours time from the time that the documents is received by the insurance company. But largely it is done much lesser than that. But the official turnaround time is for 4 hours. Okay?
Okay. And
in case there is no query, sometimes hospital don't send all the documents, so the insurance company asks them, please give this document also. So this time starts from the final submission or the clarifications of the queries. Okay, but those are rare actually. It's not that every time the query comes in, but yes, after the document is submitted, it takes mostly 4 hours, at the max 4 hours time.
Okay, so it means that you have your card, you have submitted your card, a maximum time will be taken for 4 hours. So it will be getting done within 4 hours. Okay. So great. And then my second question is there any point of contact or the people who can get it directly if we get the numbers, or it is there in the portal itself?
So I think we'll have our people's contact details available with Veena ma'am, Tanike sir.
Okay.
Anybody who needs any help, you can take his number, email IDs, you can mail us, you can call us, and respond for important issues, emergency related issues. If you have issues about claims, it's getting late. There's a process. There's a people to talk to you, to respond to your queries multiple times.
Okay. So why? Because I asked this question. So whenever we don't know when what comes in. So when we have the number, before you go get into that, you can have a clear clarity of what is required and what is not required. So what would be the case?
I think in case anybody has issues like this, I think simple thing, you reach out to Tanikesa's team or Veena ma'am's team or, whoever is there and ask them, they'll give you the details just like that. And, in fact, my number is also available sometimes. I also take calls and no issues.
Because people those are already offered, and it will be great for us because we know what to do. And people those are new to the system, and definitely they have a lot of questions, and they might have chance of getting to spend the money, and that can be reimbursed because most of them I did reimbursement also by submitting the bills. So it doesn't matter. But people should know, okay, this is a cashless or it is a reimbursement, so that they can go for a cashless treatment. So thanks, Sudipta. Thanks for your time. Yeah.
Thank you, Vijay. So people, do we have any other questions? So let us take last one question if we have anything.
Padmanabh, Arun again. Just wanted to know, from Sudipta, whether we have a dedicated accounts manager for our
yes.
team?
Yes, we have.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So any other questions, people? Last question. So the question is this policy applicable for dental? I think we have already spoken about this one, cosmetic things and all will not be covered. Am I right, Sudipta?
That's right.
Okay. So this will not be covered, Indumati. So we had a nice session, Mr. Sudipta. So Sri Lekha, do you have anything to add right away?
So that's all right. I think it helps me as well because the more queries come, the more answers I can give you, and it will help us because that will avoid a lot of queries coming in just like that, isn't it? Yes.
Nothing from my end, filmmaker. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll yeah. I actually like this idea of yours using this platform to disseminate information to employees, which is so very crucial at this time. In fact, with all this COVID happening, it's fantastic. I would love to know a little more about this, how you do go about this. Maybe we may also use, in our case, in our, customers or people around, so we can have a DC Live like kind of stuff for us. Fantastic. So in fact, ma'am, honestly saying, as a insurance service providers, we are trying to do a lot, which is based on technology, which I'll bring to you, not only others, but to you and your employees going forward. And I'm sure that you'll be very happy when we go live with all those things. Maybe it will take about 2-3 months time more. And I'll reach out to you to understand a little more about what you do and how we can possibly do a little more things. Definitely. So I like English songs. So do you play the latest song that is going on? Okay, let me Let me. But I like a little different kind of songs. I don't know. People might say what, but let me share. Where's the chat?
Thank you so much, Sudipta. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Tanigay. Thanks a lot, Srilekha. Thanks, everybody. A big thanks to all DC crewmates who are into the call and who are listening as well using DC radio. Thanks, everybody.
So I have shared my song, the latest favorite song of mine. How do I listen to that then?
This.
Okay. Got it.
I think Sudipta, it's www.dclive.in.
Yeah, I got that link. Yeah. I'll try and. So, what all things that you keep on doing at random times?
Yeah, it's.
Okay, so I'll try and catch up with this on and off whenever I have time. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
So much.
Bye-bye.
ये वाला नहीं है यार. Not this. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
How was I to know? It's a crazy